What up, Facebook Live and YouTube? Another fabulous episode of the JawsAtalk show. Today, I'm going to have a tagline one of these days. Today I'm interviewing the homie Klown from, where you at? Arizona?
Yeah, Tucson, Arizona.
Tucson, Arizona. One of the original WBA graffiti crew extraordinaire members. Only real fans know what the WBA crew is. It's like an underground weathermen group or something. Another dope 3D graffiti artist. You can find on Instagram. We'll put all that information in throughout the podcast and all that. So go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit.
Alright, well, my name's Citizen Clown, only because other homie Clown up in Seattle, didn't want to confuse everybody, so I spell it with a K, and then I actually throw Citizen in front of it. But when I get up, I don't really use that. Member of quite a few crews, mainly the LS crew out here in Tucson, which is the Lost Souls. We're actually worldwide now, so that kind of helps, with the Steez. But at the same time, I'm not really one of these political guys. I don't give a shit what crew you're in, what your views are. It's just paint. But been doing this for about 22 years now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been around. I've seen my ups, seen my downs. Painted almost anything that stands still.
For sure.
Just now making a career out of it because I'm getting too old to be jumping off billboards and shit,
Right.
Plus, I kind of lived a hard life, like, physically, so my body isn't taking too well to aging. Even though I'm barely knocking at 40's door, I mean, I'm feeling like 10 years older because of all the crap I've done.
No doubt. All the physical aspect is just catching up, huh?
Oh yeah, man, I was a good climber, and I love hitting trains. So like out here, you have to like hike through some deserts to get some good spots, because if not, they'll roll right up on you. So, I mean, and the desert's not really full of very welcoming creatures or plants. So.
For sure.
Yeah, if whoever decided, oh yeah, let's live out here,
Right.
Let's inhabit this area, but hell, man, I'd make it work,
For sure. All right. How long have you been working on your 3D style?
3D, I've only been doing, well, I mean, I have some that I started, like, back in, like, the early 90s. I really started getting into, like, the ideal of it, but I don't think I could pull it off back then. But, like, I have some things that I did try back then that were, like, kind of mediocre 3D stuff, and I just wasn't really happy with it. So I went back to just doing regular, like, letters. And it wasn't until about maybe 2005 that I started really ripping out the burners of 3D.
Okay.
Problem is, back then I was drinking a lot, so like my sketches were on point, and then I would go paint, and it'd be like sloppy as hell.
Right, for sure.
And now I've been like toned down on everything. Like I'm not Mr. 30-pack a day guy anymore.
For sure.
The work definitely shows. It's
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, he cleaned up his shit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And you said you've been writing for like 22 years?
Yeah.
Dope.
I'm not like a fucking career.
Right. I know. It's crazy how fast time flies, man. I've probably been writing for like 18, so I mean, it's definitely crazy how time flies,
Oh, yeah. I mean, it gets lost. Like, my kids were tiny and now they're adults. And
no doubt.
What the fuck happened there,
Right. All right. So who are some of your inspirations? Maybe growing up, maybe current? Just artists that really, that you look at and you're just like, yeah, dude, inspire you.
All right. Well, out here, like, of course, local talent inspires you first. You got to see what's around.
Sure.
And we had this cat out here named Days.
Days?
Days was like, yeah, Days one.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the original writers out here. Like,
Okay.
he was maybe like the third or fourth big guy out. And he would always do these fucking crazy wild styles that had like arrows coming off of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you looked at it, it was kind of really rudimentary letters, but fuck, man, it burned, you know?
Mm-hmm. Sure,
And,
sure.
He was one of my main influences. Like,
Okay.
he's one of the guys that I really looked at the city, and it made me take to the walls. But also, like, here in town, local guys that were here at the time, Excel, he still paints. That guy is awesome. He always does chrome fills on everything. I mean, he was a real inspiration to me. And then this other guy that was here in town for schooling, the CES one, out of New York right now. He moved back home, but he comes and visits. We get down.
CES? C-E-S?
One of the big SES.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. And then with that, his partner was Ease One Rock. And they both actually, like, later on, like, I think in the late 90s, early 2000s, they both got clicked up with FX after a while, and they definitely deserved that, you know? So, I mean, Ease was, like, amazing, dude. Like, his stuff was just, like, whoa.
Nice.
So, I mean, those were the guys that, like, locally that got me turned on to it. But, like, like famous guy, or, like, other guys, Hayes, MSK Hayes, like, I would see trains roll by with him on it, and it was like, fuck, do that, you know?
Right, right.
Also Virus, and then, like, Cogs when I was younger. Those were the three main writers I followed.
Nice. Okay, cool.
And nowadays, I mean, damn, just throw a rock. You know, these guys are so talented.
Right.
And the art is like Edmund. Oh my God.
Right.
Edmund, man, my lord, that guy gets down. Dude.
Right.
And like, yeah, visual bacon, nachos. I mean, the list goes on and on.
For sure.
I'm a fanboy living the dream right now.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. That's real.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's still a lot of, like, there's still some local guys that I give I top my hats to, like, this local cat, Odd Even.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him went to high school together, and he has always been, like, my inspiration to be better.
Oh, nice.
Because I know I'll never be as good as him.
Uh-huh.
But, man, I'm going to fucking try my best. You know?
For sure.
Like,
yeah, definitely.
It's funny. I set standards that are way too high for my own skills, and then I try to crush them, and it makes me a better artist.
Right.
Like, self-motivation type deal.
Definitely.
There's a lot of guys out there like Per. I mean, all the FX crew, those were like the big 90s inspiration to everybody. I think. But,
cool.
Like, because not just doing 3D, I actually like doing painting other stuff as well as letters.
Right.
Because my vision was always to do, like, huge, like, you know, production pieces.
Right.
And none of the guys in town really excel at characters and shit or backgrounds. So I figured I would be that guy.
Sure. Yeah, fill the void, right?
Guy, you know?
Right, absolutely.
But now that I've been out there and we've done some damage and done some really cool legal pieces around that surprisingly didn't last too long because of, like, you know, bullshit.
Really?
But yeah, it just, like, either it was like some territorial bullshit where people thought that was their wall, or the city paints over it.
Damn.
Type thing, you know.
But it started out like a legal project, though?
It was a legal wall. Like, it was totally, we were totally allowed to do it. We kind of showed up on a day they didn't expect, so it was like illegally painting it.
I see.
But, like, the sheriffs pulled up and told us we were doing a great job. It was we had like a tailgate going on. There were kids that were like underage drinking with us.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, no one seemed to really care that we were doing that. And then painting a wall at that too in broad daylight, but no one seemed to check either. So we got away scot-free.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. But then they just, like, buffed it or something afterwards?
Oh yeah.
That's
just
ridiculous.
Like the city has this thing here where they were cracking down on graffiti.
Right.
And business owners that paid people to paint their walls, you know, they'd pay us a good hefty chunk, or, you know, we would just paint the wall or whatever.
Right.
And they would buy the paint type deal.
Right.
And then the city would come and fine them because, oh, that's too much graffiti.
That's fucked
they
up,
wanted,
man.
Yeah, they wanted art. They wanted, like, you know, bullshit.
Right, right.
And,
Cows and barns.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And we live in the fucking desert. How many times do you gotta paint a cactus on a wall? You know,
Right.
I can look outside my window and see fucking cactus.
Right.
I don't need to go look at a wall and see that shit. But
yeah. Damn, dude. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, so I mean, the city's my main. Like, I don't beef with any crews, any other writers. You know, I pretty much get along with everybody. Like,
right.
I try to be that neutral party in the world.
Right.
That I'm just cool, you know.
right.
And I
definitely.
am, but the city's my beef, you know, and that's why my main targets are city-owned property.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not trying to fuck up my neighbor's neighborhoods, and I'm not
right.
trying to screw up a mom and pop shop. But fuck the city, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
absolutely.
if it's maintained and owned by the city,
yep,
I'm on that shit.
Yep. Yeah, and actually in my crew OH, that was like one of the main rules. It's like, yeah, local businesses don't fuck with, but if it's like the city, like blow the city up, you know. So yeah, for sure. Well, good shit.
Well, like a lot of guys got like a lot of these kids in town, they would do like a one-night run.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day they're like, "Oh shit, I'm all city," and it's like, "Man, you hit like 2 blocks."
Right.
But you
right.
saturated that block. Like, you wasted all your paint on 2 blocks.
Right.
3-letter names.
Right.
And we would go from one side of the city all the way to the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next night, zigzag it from the other side all the way to the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would just saturate everything in between.
Right.
And I mean, this was back in the 90s, so it was a little more easier to get away with shit.
Right,
You know?
definitely.
There weren't cell phones, is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And there weren't so many surveillance cameras on shit. So I mean, it was just a free for all.
Right.
And now, I mean, we still got some guys hitting the city, but it almost seems pointless because as soon as it's up, it's gone.
Yeah. Oh, bro.
And the only shit they let run is toy as fuck. And I don't know why they let the toy stuff run, but like the good shit gets painted over.
Right. It's funny you say that. I definitely have it brings back a memory of painting a spot, and then the next morning to get a picture, it's gone, it's buffed, and it was like what we thought was a really mellow spot. So I know that reality firsthand for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. You paint, then you go get some rest, and then you go show up with your buddies, and it's like, so when do you get up? And it's like, well, you see that big gray spot? Yeah,
right.
That was it.
Right, right. Or do you see why all these pallets are stacked up? And
yeah, they're hiding my shit.
yeah, fucked up.
Or
so.
I even had one place put butcher paper over my stuff.
Really?
And so I went and jumped the fence again, and then I just ripped the paper down.
Uh-huh.
And as I was hopping the fence again, a little foot chase happened, but you know, it was funny as hell.
Uh-huh.
I was just like, you can't stop me, bro.
They put up butcher paper. That's fucking hilarious. That's like irritatingly funny. You know, like.
It is, and the funny thing is, there's actually this place here in town that's like graffiti protective coatings, and they drive around, and they're little do-gooders and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and they go paint over graffiti. But when they first opened, it was hilarious because these guys were like, if you have graffiti on your property, we'll give you a 5-gallon bucket of paint to paint over it.
Really?
And so me and my boys were like, yeah, dude, somebody tagged my wall. And they're like, oh, so we could deliver it or you could pick it up. So
and then you get bucket paint.
Buckets, and it would go do roller bombs with
that is so fucking awesome, dude. That is great.
It was all about fucking them over, you know, and we even wrote on it, thanks for the paint, assholes.
That's dope, bro. How funny is that, man? You're just like, yeah, we need bucket paint. They're like, oh, okay, here you go. That's fucking great,
some kid
dude.
tagged my fucking house, and they're like, yeah, go ahead, pick him up. I'm sending my son. Yeah, that's fine. And I did it my dad said he wanted that you guys were going to give him paint. I don't know. And they're like, yeah, here, take this. And we'd just be like, oh, thanks, and just walk out.
I'm
They're like,
sending my son.
You know?
Wow. That's great, dude. I like that.
Oh, yeah, I've been a rebel since birth, man. I mean, there's no point in coloring in the lines when in reality there are no lines. You know?
Facts. Hold on 1 second. I'm coloring a piece right now. And there are many lines. All right, let's see. Think times have
Alliance is
changed.
just an implied piece, you know that.
Times have changed. All right, let's see. Where or what inspired you to start writing clown?
Actually, a good question. My original name was Vader.
Okay.
Like Darth Vader, Vader.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of fit, but the thing was, like, I'm actually a really nice guy.
Uh-huh.
Like, so it was kind of like Vader's like this choke your ass out type motherfucker. You know?
Right.
So it didn't really fit with me.
For sure.
But what it was is I was 17, and I kind of told my mom, I was like, look, either you take me to a tattoo place and give me permission to get a tattoo, or I'm gonna have one of my friends do it.
Mm-hmm.
At their house, and it's gonna be with rusty needles, and like just kind of scared her. And so she was like, "Fine, let's go get it." So I went and I drew this picture of a clown that kind of looked like what's it called, Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal.
Awesome.
And I had that pinned on my shoulder, and so everybody else was like, "Man, you shouldn't be calling yourself Vader. You should call yourself Clown. Plus, you're funny." And I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean I'm funny?" And they're like, "You're funny, dude. You make us laugh." And I was just like funny looking. And they were like, "No, man, you're like a comedian. For like we hang out with you because you're funny." And
right.
I was like, "Okay." And it wasn't really me who picked the name. It was a couple other guys that did. But the funniest thing about all this when they were doing that is when I was little, like really little, like 8, 9.
Mm-hmm.
I would play like with all the neighborhood kids, growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm so white, inside of a Mexican hood, all their dads would be like, "Oh, look at that little payaso, he's trying to be one of us."
Okay.
And so that was actually my neighborhood, like hood name was Clown.
Okay.
So that's what they called me. I was like dressing up like them. So I was like, that's fucking fitting because that's what I've always been called.
No doubt. Okay.
So then, probably it was probably 96 is when Clown came out. And it hasn't gone away since,
Sure. Okay. Excellent.
I'm sure there's some cats out there that wish I would just hang it up, or get caught, or just like shoot myself or something and just not be in their way. But that's why I exist,
Right, but I don't know, man. Your art is pretty much solidifying its spot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you got too much to worry about.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I really do, because then I get kids that are like, "Oh man, but your letters, they look the same." I'm like, "Yeah, but all your shit looks the same. Like everything is the same. You just changed up the color."
You know what's so funny, man? I find that, I mean, like, I'm drawing every day 5 times a day some days. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think it's funny just as a graffiti writer how we just write our names over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? It's like narcissistic in a way. It's I don't know. It's very strange reality. So when people say you're just, some ignorance, like it looks the same or whatever, it's like, no, I mean, I'm mastering who I am, It's what I'm comfortable with. So I don't know. It's very strange nonetheless. So.
No, I mean, that's true. I mean, yeah, we are trying to do something that other people don't really get. But I'm talking about the kids that just go out and stamp the same bomb over and over.
Oh, right. Right.
And it's just like, okay, Cope, knock it off,
Right.
It's the same thing.
Right.
You put pink in it. Oh, you put dots in it. It's
right.
the same thing.
Yeah, that
progress your style.
Yeah, that's definitely a little bit more, yeah, like you said, stampy. I mean, and there are I see some writers on Instagram who are pretty stampy as well. You know what I'm saying? And
it's this whole social media thing that happened too. Like these guys see this and they don't realize that these guys were doing this as an experiment. It was to brand their name.
Right.
You pick up a Tony Hawk and you see a Coke 2 in the background and you're like, "Oh shit, I've seen that before."
Right.
Or you see a Shep Barley shit, like the Obey shit, and it's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that." And they don't have no fucking clue what it is. It's just a symbol to them.
Right. True that.
Yeah, so I mean, in a way I get it. You're trying to brand yourself and you're trying to know that whenever they see just that glimpse, it's in your head like, oh, that's Pepsi, that's Taco Bell, that's
Right.
whatever, you know.
Right.
And I get that, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, the whole point of us being graffiti artists were to have the freshest shit, you know.
Right.
Push your letters out, like, oh, don't make them look the same all the time. Always make them look, oh, he did something new. Oh, look at that, he changed this stuff.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, obviously, with that being said, a difference between, like, I guess what we do and what, like, Cope does. You know, there are little things that I know just as artists we change. You know, I'm evolving every piece. That's why I draw 5 times a day.
Oh, yeah.
But
and that's why I love your shit, dude. I look at it like, damn, he did it again. You know?
Right. Tight.
Like when you took that little break when you were rapping and you weren't putting any art out for a minute, I was like, damn, I haven't seen anything cool again. So I'd actually go back on your page, check them out, and be like, yeah.
Tight. Much respect. I do a lot of battle rapping, and when I have battles coming up, I definitely like put my pens down for at least, you know, a couple weeks. And
well, yeah, you got to get focused, and that's the other thing people don't get. Like, I used to DJ, you know, and so like it's like, I mean, I might listen to like punk and metal and bit, but like, yeah, I'm still more hip hop than half the suckers out there. You know?
Right.
And the fact that you rap and you rewrite, you know, that's new elements. You know, I got new elements, and like a lot of people, like a lot of my boys, you know, we all do more than just rap. You know, we live hip hop, but like at the same time, you see us standing in a group, and you're like, yeah, those guys don't look like hip hop.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, it's the culture, bro. I mean, I know we're living it a little bit more than a lot of these people, so that's definitely for real. And that's why I like doing this show, honestly, because I feel like, you know, the more artists I interview and the more like rappers I interview, it just kind of like builds that link a little bit more, you know?
Yeah, and that's the way it should be. Like, out here in Tucson, we have a really big hip-hop community. And I mean, it's actually a dope-ass community. People get along. Like, we have shows, nobody fights, nobody beefs. We just get down together, you know? And I think that is fucking amazing.
Right.
But at the same time, out here, nobody's supporting each other. It's all, I'm the best.
Right.
And I hate that about our town. That it's like, I have to do shit and, you know, fuck you guys.
Right.
And people come to the shows, and once that guy's off the stage, those people leave.
Right.
And it's like, wait, stick around and see who else is here. You know, there's some fucking talented guys up on the stage. You know, just because your boy spits a little bit of flame doesn't mean this homeboy's going to come up and rock the fucking house. You know, you're going to miss it.
Right.
And then your ass is sleeping, and you can't. There's no excuse for that. It was happening. You had the ticket. You were there, and you bounced.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
and
it's like what we call fanboys. You know, I mean, that's how it is. Like, oh yeah, they just follow, like, their little groupies follow them.
Right. You know, and that's part of the reason I stopped doing like shows, because of that exact reason. And battle rapping, it's like people are there specifically to see everybody who's got, you know, fire, and the networking is so much more active in that scene.
Yeah,
so
we used to have this thing called voice box out.
and
I mean, I would go to that, no DJ, just a cappella. And it would be battle against battle, and I mean, shit, dude, that was some of the funnest nights ever.
Yeah.
Some of these guys that rip on each other.
Right.
Damn, every couple of seconds, it's like, how did they come up with that
right.
shit, you know? And it's like right on the spot. Wow.
Yeah.
You know? It would blow my mind, because I don't really rap.
Right.
I'm like, oh, dude, like, these guys kick ass. I made a lot of good friends. And so, like, one of my friends, like, former team, and this was like the funniest ever. It's like when he jumped on the rhyme, he hits you with that flow style, but he's just hard show. It's like whenever he takes the stage, I'm like, oh, here goes Dave. You know?
Tight.
It'd be
Tight.
and stuff and stuff. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Cool. Well, good shit, man. It's definitely good to be a part of the culture, man.
Actually, like, we had this festival back in February on hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
And it was done before by a local cat. I've done some painting at shows with him before, but this was like him and the Arizona. And so now he has a production.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually got a nice building. It was like different sets, wall boards out. And I mean, that was it because it brought all elements there. There was DJ, just making, there was a panel just out of storage, graph guys about stuff, and I mean, it was dope, but at the same time, it was kind of open to whoever signed up.
Sure.
And so you had guys level guys like me, Fleck, and Engine, and Akers, and Sci-Fi in town for one of our hometown heroes. They all were there. But then again, we had guys that really didn't have any place being there, like employed that fuck it up. And it was just like, I kind of felt like, if we're representing our city as, our hip-hop community, we should have been a little bit more on who gets, not to be a dick at the same time.
Right.
It's supposed to, name people are saying, say.
Right.
And even writers are looking at it like, dude. And we even had a couple cats that had nothing to do with hip-hop. They were just local artists. It was like, why the fuck are you here?
Right, for sure.
And what is this meaning you're doing? Just like a hip-hop festival.
Right.
Oh, there were some elements of it that I didn't like. But when the whole thing is or right out and figure out because it wasn't hip-hop.
Right. Yeah. I mean, how you said the scene's pretty active down there. Like, I wonder, what inspired that to take place.
I have no clue, but I'm glad it is.
Right.
I mean, we have like a couple cool little scenes. Like for a while, Tucson was just fucking shit kicker. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But we always had this thing where we always had to back in the day it was cruise it, drive up and down one street really slow. And I think once they got rid of that, people were just kind of like, well, now what? So it turned into more like, well, like rap, So
for
we
sure.
actually had more shows popping up, guys putting themselves out there.
Okay.
It slowly evolved. It's like, where did this come from? I'm at it here. I hope it stays, but at the same time, it's like I hope it stays real.
For sure.
I don't.
For sure.
I don't want any guys coming in like mumba da rap. I mean, we don't need that.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah, and the more
with their hair looking like hot Cheetos shit.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm hip hop. It's like, no, you ain't.
Right. Like, yeah, dude, it's crazy because that's pretty much what the hip hop scene is now.
Yeah, I mean, it's skinny jeans, fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I come from a time of big ass Jenkos.
Right. No, for sure. It's funny you say that. I talk about that with my homie all the time, man. That's hella real. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I used to have this thing that I'd hosted in my front yard, and I just bought a bunch of 8 by 4 board, and I'd set them up, and I call it Scrap Can Battle.
Tight.
And I'd invite other guys from other crews into my crib and be like, look, no beefing here, which is painting.
Right.
So if some other guy in the yard that you don't like, well, that's fine, battle him.
Right.
If you guys want to box, there's a park 2 blocks away. By all means, handle your shit.
For sure.
I'm all about that, but not right here.
Right.
Right here is about the art.
Definitely,
and,
definitely.
People really liked it. It was cool. But at the same time, I'd get these, the new kid writers, the new school guys show up. One cat, dope-ass writer, don't get me wrong. He actually won it that day, and I think it's because I pissed him off. But he shows up, and he's half on. Barely on his ass, and I was like, dude, did your sister know you borrowed her pants?
Damn.
He just didn't say another word the rest of the day.
Damn.
He burned. He's like, man, I still do what you do.
Right.
And I like that. I was like, dude, see, that's what I'm about. I said, fuck you, and look what happened.
Tight.
You got inspired to fuck this guy and show me a shot.
Right, for sure. Cool. That's wild. Weren't you doing something like that like not too long ago? Some sort of scrap can battles?
Yeah, it actually stopped maybe about 3 years ago, I think.
Oh,
4
okay.
years stopped. But it's only because I moved from a place where I didn't have yard. Like,
I see.
kind of going through shit, so I was staying with some homies, like couch surf, whatever.
Right.
And then I got another place that was in a fucking farm. So, can't be spray painting out in a farm, you know?
Right.
Especially if you don't really got a yard.
Right.
Now I actually got a place with a yard.
Okay.
I just not so sure about starting back up.
For
And
sure.
I got people trying to show up on Saturdays wanting to paint. I'm like, I still have a beard, bowl, but you guys want, it's like, oh, we want to show up and paint. And it's like, fuck. Now all of a sudden it's up.
Right.
So I don't know. It's still on the back burner. I might bring it back because it was fun. I did have a lot of time when I met a lot of good writers. And the funniest thing is we actually squashed some beef. Like, people would be like, well, I heard you said this, and I heard you say that. And it's like, never said. And like, they got in front of each other.
Right.
And not worried about getting jumped or guns pulled on.
Right.
He did that,
Damn.
I'm there. That deal,
No, that's hella good. That's a hella good thing to do, man. I had no,
Yeah. And that was the whole point I was trying to get to these guys, show these kids. Like, you don't have to be fucking hear somebody's shit and then, okay, I hate that. We'll send a hit squad.
Right, for sure.
It's like, no, man, settle it out. Like, talk about this shit like fuck men.
Right.
And then if you're still gonna beef about it, hey man, you got a bunch of other writers here. Why don't you guys battle and we'll be the judge on who wins?
Right.
It actually kind of helped battle it. It had its positive, a lot more than I actually originally.
Right. Yeah. I think it was something that needed to be done. It sounds like. I mean, just hearing that, I could see that being positive in all sorts of different cities.
Yeah.
So.
But now, since that kind of went off, I've been working alongside this guy. Called me up one day and I was like, "Hey, are you interested in being an artist?" So it's for a church. I was like, I don't know. And then they were like, "Well, just go talk with the guy." I was like, "All right, go talk. Hear what he's got to say." And this guy actually he's all about what we do.
Nice.
He's like, I see trains go by, I drive by murals, walls, and whatnot. I'm just blown away by what you guys do.
Right.
And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, it is crazy talent these guys have.
Right.
And so they wanted to do like a little graffiti art show. So, buy us some paint, set up some stuff, get something to paint on. And yeah, I'll bring some guys and we'll show up and paint for you. And it actually turned out to be a pretty good set. Yeah. And just because he had that faith in us, I started helping him out and I've been working beside him. So now I kind of work with the Search for Open Space.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like you've been doing a little bit more legal stuff. At least, within the past year.
Yeah, with the past year I have been. Like, I've gone out a few times, like, just doing, because out here you can't, like, to get up, like, to do pieces, we paint in tunnels, like the drain tunnel.
Okay.
And there are some guys still in this town that leave territory,
Right.
Like, okay, I live on the east side, but this tunnel that's downtown is mine.
Right.
And it's like, no, motherfucker, this whole city is ours.
Right.
You got that gangster mentality. And that's how you want to play. Well, fuck, we could play that, but at the same time, nobody owns the city.
Right.
It's fair game, dude. As long as you ain't capping over people.
For sure.
Paint where you want. Like, we have our own little tunnel, but we don't, like, run people out of it.
Right.
It actually says within the mouth of it when you can, it's like, feel free to paint. Don't go over anybody. Buff your own shit,
Right.
And if it's a buff spot, don't take our spot.
Right. For sure.
And if you do, we will paint over.
For sure.
We're nice.
Right.
And it's not like we're going to beat your ass on the first mistake. We'll wait and make sure you just made a mistake. But if you keep coming back doing that, then you got a problem.
For sure. Well, cool. I mean, it sounds like you got a nice little yard with a disclaimer. I think that's pretty solid, bro.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, there's like it's like two or three tunnels you can go paint now.
Mm-hmm.
We're only taking one. You know, there's still a lot of area
For
it.
sure.
I mean, we've got about a good quarter-mile on both sides of it going down.
Mm-hmm.
And our plan is to fill the whole fucking tunnel.
Yeah.
It's a couple guys from the crew. It's mainly my crew, LS.
Mm-hmm.
But we brought a couple other. We brought Ulcer down there from. And we brought a few other heads down there. But I mean, it's one of those tunnels that it's worth going to, but it's really long walk.
For sure.
You know, you're walking underground for like a good hour.
Oh, gnarly.
Yeah. And the bad thing is, out in the summer here, we get black blood.
Damn.
You don't want to be caught in a tunnel during because I mean, you will have like it'll be like a little trail of water coming through, and then 5 minutes later you're up.
That's nuts, bro.
You rush. Yeah, I mean you can die.
That's fucking nuts, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's what we have, you know.
Right.
We can't go paint on saguaros and shit.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
And I'm not gonna go like paint on. You know, some guys down here do that. Around the areas, like we have like a little you know, that's not right. You know?
Right.
There are
Interesting.
spots you guys can get down. You're just afraid.
Right.
Or they don't have flashlight. And that's the thing too. Like people trip out when they see us right now because it's not just like, oh, me in a backpack full of cans. No, we bring gear down. We got lights. And people are all like, they think we're homeless going down there to camp.
Oh, for sure.
And yeah, and then because it looks like we have all our supplies.
Right.
We get down there and we spend like a good 8 hours painting and then we come out. And it's like nice, you know, because everything's lighter.
Right.
You're not carrying that much heavy shit anymore.
That's interesting, man.
Like we're just vagrant. Yeah, it just looks like we're vagrant out of fucking tunnel. Probably going high. So they don't really bother us. And we go so deep in the tunnels that cops are even right.
Right.
They might wait at the end for us to come out, but we gotta get them.
Right. They'll be there for a minute.
Oh yeah.
Cool, man. That's interesting. I know there was like a couple spots where I used to paint where it was like a little bit of a hike. Definitely nothing like that. But I think it made just the experience a little bit more fun for whatever reason. I mean, maybe just like the mental preparation, or I don't know. But it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty cool.
Well, like I don't post a lot of the illegal shit I do on Instagram because that's how you get in trouble.
Right.
You know, so that's another thing that you probably. I mean,
unless you're Moxie.
Yeah.
That dude's crazy, bro.
I know, dude. That kid is nuts.
Yeah.
I actually drove through Phoenix a few times and saw his shit up. Damn. He ain't fucking around, dude. Like he killed that.
Yeah. He's a really cool kid, man. Really cool kid. I interviewed him a couple weeks ago.
He's an awesome cat.
Yeah.
I've actually been wanting to paint with him.
Yeah.
You know, just get him part of something.
Yeah, hit him up, bro. Seriously, hit him up. Like he'll definitely rock with you.
I just gotta figure out because I'm actually in the midst of planning another, like a paint show type deal, and I kind of want to bring the big heads to it.
Yeah.
But the guys that I had picked up all got caught. So
no doubt.
I'm like,
hey.
Yeah. So I gotta wait for them, but
yeah, that kid won't get caught, bro.
There, you know?
That kid won't get caught. That kid won't get caught. Instagram blow up, bro. If you and fucking Moxie did some work together, that should be tight.
Well, that's the thing. I still don't think I'm shit. You know, there's hundreds of guys way better than me.
See, it's so
1,000 times better than me. The only difference is I don't stop. I keep going.
Right. It's so crazy because it's like
the fact that I'm still here.
like a lot of these people that I interview are like everybody's fucking really modest. You know what I'm saying? Like I've talked to a lot of people and they're just like, yeah, man, everybody's better. Moxie has the same mentality, bro. Seriously, he's like I'm not shit. I'm just crushing it. I'm like, yeah,
well,
but you're
dope.
dope.
I think you actually picked out the group of people. Like you invite people to be on your show. I didn't like jump up and be like, yo, Jaws, let me up on your shit.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But the thing is, I think you have you know, the whole idea of you attract people of the same frequency or the same vibration that you put out.
Mm-hmm.
I think you attract the writers that are like us. No, we are the modest.
Right.
We're not ego driven.
For sure. For sure.
There's a fucking shitload of egos out here.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right.
And that's what I feel like I'm competing in. Like, not only do I got to compete against other writers, but I also got to compete against other artists, like established artists.
Right.
And so I'm fighting two levels people don't realize.
Right.
You know, and to me, I'm just glad that someone say, okay, well, we'll pick you. And I'm like, really?
Right.
Well, thank you. You know, I'll do my best.
Right.
But
for
like,
sure.
these other guys are like, damn right, you'll pick me. And you're going to pay me this, and you're going to get me, and I want only yellow M&Ms when I'm there. And it's like,
right.
Who the fuck are you, dude? You know?
Right. No, I definitely, know those type of people. But I think you're right. I think, yeah, like you said, just a very similar just wavelength that, the law of attraction, I guess, It's kind of crazy how it works.
But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of guys that are, they do this for the fame.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm gonna fucking paint. I'm gonna get famous, and man, I'm gonna be insta famous, and people are gonna be like looking out, cause sell shirts and shit. And
right.
No, you're not. You're gonna go to jail.
Right. Facts.
It's like I've never been money motivated. Never been ego motivated.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I've never worried about because my shit looked good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's graffiti. It's up. Deal with it.
Right.
Like if I cared about what you thought, I wouldn't have painted it.
Right. Facts.
I'm not doing it to impress the audience. I'm doing this because it makes me feel good.
For sure.
This is my reason. This is what I do. This is me.
For sure.
I could give a fuck what any of these other assholes say with their fucking 2 cents they want to throw at me.
Right.
And they can't even hold hand properly. It's like, but at the same time, I'm not going to be that dick that's standing there like, man, none of you fuckers can even, that's not me.
Right.
It's just never been that way.
For sure. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy reality.
And reality's a fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just wild that mentality's even out there, but... Alright, anyway, let's keep it rolling. So, we got that. What's the best advice or tip somebody has given you?
That's a good question, man.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been when you started. It could have been recent, just something that, like, resonates, like, something that you keep in mind when you're doing your art.
See, that's even funnier, because, like, when I do this stuff, I'm not really thinking of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I went to that hip-hop festival, these other guys were planning their fucking designs out, sketching shit, weeks in advance.
Right.
Colors are
right.
I show up with a bag full of paint, and I look at what I'm going to paint, and I'm like, okay, I think I know what I'm going to do.
Right.
And it just happens right there, I'm one of these on-the-spot guys.
Right.
It's like I hardly bring a sketch with me. And if I do, I don't really stick to the whole sketch. I kind of just embellish it as I go.
For sure.
I don't know, man. Tips that people told me. Like, I could tell you some tricks people showed me. Like, my homeboy, that guy Days, he showed me how to mix, like, old when Montana wasn't, all we had was Rusto and Krylon.
Right.
He showed me how to mix your own color shit,
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people would talk shit about that. And they're like, oh, you're fucking up the pressure. I'm like, no, you're just not letting the pressure out of the can.
Right.
You can do this right, and the paint will look good. And
how did you mix it? I feel like
custom colors before we had Montana.
Right. How did you mix them? I feel like we had to, like, freeze cans or some shit.
No, you would just get like a WD-40 kit that would have the straws.
Oh, I see.
And you'd hold one down and one upside down, and you would pump the paint from one into the other can. Then you'd have to take it off, hold that can upside down, and let all the pressure out. Because if you didn't, that shit would pop on you. I had a can explode on me the first time I did it. Not a fun experience.
Right.
Especially when you're going home and you have to explain to your mom why you're all...
Right.
It's like, I joined the Crips. What do you want me to say?
Right. Yeah, I remember trying to mix paint. I don't think I ever successfully mixed colors, but I remember trying, and I'm pretty sure I froze half cans or some shit like that. So I don't know. That was a long time ago. There's no.
Yeah, that was like the 90s.
Right.
Now there's no need for that.
There's no need for that.
What color do I want? I'll go buy it, or I'll go order it.
Right. Exactly. All right, cool. Well, yeah, that's definitely a good tip.
That, I've been shown cool things. My homie Blam, he's like my day one.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the one that showed me how to if you have a can that doesn't have an adapter, the new Krylon, you just pop that little thing out in the middle of it, you put a regular cap in there, you got to affect that.
Right.
Or you got a super skinny on.
For sure.
And so it wasn't really learning. To me, I never really had a problem creating art. It was just, how do I use what I have to make art?
For sure.
So learning how to adapt to what you have in front of you, make it work. That was the important stuff. And just things like that. I mean, if I could tell somebody something, it would be, never tell people you're a writer. Try to be as modest about it as you can, and keep your identities. If you want to do this and have longevity in the game,
right?
Be quiet about it. Don't put it on. Don't go on stage. Don't even tell other writers that you. Just shut the fuck up and do your thing.
Facts.
And you will be that untouchable legend that people talk about.
Yeah. But let your art speak for itself.
Game, it's so hard to do that,
Right.
Especially in this game, it's so hard to keep your lips shut.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, that wasn't me.
Well, like you said, man.
Look at me, look at that thing. For attention. That's why we do.
Like you said, man, people want the insta fame. They'll when I'm seriously just recently starting to get the let the art speak for itself phase. You know what I'm saying? So it might take some time to learn, but I definitely agree with that.
Well, what you gotta do, going back to that the prior question. When Days was still alive before he took his own life, the one thing he did tell me that always stuck with me was that don't give a shit what other people say. Don't give a shit what other people think. This is you. Be
right.
And don't change up your shit to feel oh, well, they don't like my style, I'm gonna go get a craft magazine.
Right.
Look on Instagram.
Right.
And bite somebody's shit. So I look like what you guys look like.
Right.
And then I'll be accepted. Oh, fuck that. Do your own thing.
Right.
And be proud about it. Do
exactly.
It big. If it's ugly, do it big and ugly,
Right.
Be you.
Right.
Don't try to fit into the gutter, because that ain't graffiti.
Absolutely.
That ain't what I signed.
Right. Yeah, I've kind of been echoing this phrase, man, master your own originality. I feel like you'll get more genuine respect that way. So it's pretty much what I've been telling a lot of people lately. So cool. Let's see. Where do you envision your art going, or what would you eventually like it to do with it?
It amazes me that people buy my art. You know what I mean? That blows my fucking mind. I did a show, and the majority of my customers, or should I say clients, were ladies in their 60s. Who would usually call the cops on us.
For sure.
In our backpack.
For sure.
But yet they wanted graph art on their walls. But when I did the show, I did art. I was painting like Bob Ross. because I wanted to show them, I'm an artist.
Right.
And they were like, well, where's the graffiti? And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah. And they're showing me pictures of stuff I did, like stuff I painted in my front yard. They're like, can I buy this? And I'm like, that's like 8 feet by 8 feet. You really got a spot for that?
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean, that's huge. And they're like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, that's like graffiti.
Right.
And so they were like, well, can you do it smaller on a canvas? And I'm like, well, yeah, I can do that. No big deal. And it was funny for me because at the time, they had got rid of deco, and those were my go-to.
Why'd they do that?
And
too much vandalism or
I'm
what?
not even sure. Like, yeah, because kids would just steal them from stores here, like left and right. I mean, they never put them for nothing. So stores just stopped carrying them because they were like, why sell something we can't get money on?
Right.
So all we really had were like those shitty Sharpies,
Okay.
And I mean, they work, but they don't. It's not what I'm used to. So that actually forced me to go to like, you know what? Just buy a brush, buy some fucking acrylic, paint. It's the same fucking thing.
Right.
So it kind of forced me into doing it. And then Montana and everybody, and like Bosca and everybody came out with their markers. And I was like, oh shit, never mind. Back in the game. But at the same time, I get all these markers now, and I'm like, I kind of like how the brush looks better.
Right. I like.
So it's more in between me. Like half of my stuff is paint marker, half of my stuff fucking actual acrylic.
Okay.
And then like I also do like my background spray paint.
Right.
And then I'll come and do some acrylic stuff on top of it. Or I'll just like do some crazy spray paint shit and then cut stencils to So I try to keep it like I try to stay. I kind of do things harder than I do.
Right.
I make it harder on myself, but at the same time, I feel like it pushes that envelope of
for sure
who I am.
Right. It's a mixed media, though,
Like those recent ones I have posted of the Rick and Morty. Those backgrounds are the same shits you see that people do at flea market shit. Just doing little face backgrounds. But I cut a shitty Rick and Morty stencil, and every color is different. And just putting that on there, it looks more crisper than me painting by a brush. Right. And I think sometimes it works that way better, and sometimes it's better with brush. So
for sure.
It's weird. It's a toss-up.
Right. Oh man, I stopped using paint pens. Shit, dude, in like sophomore year in high school. Like, I prefer
it's about the same time, dude.
Tight. I don't know, man. I prefer brush. I work with a brush a lot, man. I mean, I literally will work on up to, like I said, I'm drawing about 5 times a day. I'm literally working on easily 2 to 3 canvases per night. You know what I'm saying? I love just how the paintbrush works. You know what I'm saying? I use acrylic and oils. So I love the life of a paintbrush. What's that?
I'm just getting into oils myself, which is so weird because like I could be in a tunnel with like 6 heads deep and we're just puking paint out. And it's a small like 8 by 10 tunnel.
Right.
The fumes don't even. I don't wear a mask. So I should, but I don't. And the fumes never mess with me. But I get at home, I have a window open, I get the fan blowing, and the oil fumes fuck with me, dude. I got a headache, I want to lay down, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Right. It's...
I've been through so much,
Right. It's funny you say that because Art Gomez, he says he loves the smell of oil paints. You know what I'm saying?
I know, I do. I love the smell of them too, but at the same time, it's like, I got to ash after them.
Right.
Well, they do. I mean, now I've been working with them, and like, really. So, yeah, I'm going to make But at the same time, like, a lot of my paint shirts is, so, like, literally in this house, I have, like, 300 cans.
Damn, dude.
For any of that. I have, like, fucking 2 big-ass work of the paint that we do for our paint, And, I mean, it's not, like, bullshit paint. This is, like, Liquitex, base type paint.
Right.
So I mean, it's a quality acrylic. I mean, level. It's not like student quality, artist quality.
Right.
But at the same time, like I don't like that quality of paint, so I moved on to like the Windsor New Calvia.
Right.
Because I just like the way it feels, just the way it looks.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels like real paint.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And now that I'm transitioning into oil, you know, I want it to be quality stuff.
Right.
Just want to buy like a shit $20 oil, you know, with a little like half-ounce tubes or whatever.
Right.
You know, I try to do that. So with me trying to build up my own art supply, but it kind of helps when you work at Michael's. So I get discount.
Oh, you work at Michael's?
Yeah.
Tight, dude.
Well, I used to work like at a machine shop,
Uh-huh.
like bomb parts for like.
Okay.
And I mean, it was a really stressful, really demanding job.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this isn't where I want to be. You know what I mean? I'm an artist.
Right.
I shouldn't be stressing over this bullshit.
Right.
So I took a minute and I realized, you know, dude, be happy. Because I almost had a stroke because how much stress I was having. And I was like, dude, I was drinking like a fucking. I was smoking like 3 packs a day.
God damn.
You know, I wasn't really taking care of myself.
For sure.
So after I kind of had this little hospital visit where they're like, dude, you really need to think about your life if you want to keep living.
God
like,
damn.
right. So I took that shit to heart and I switched up everything I did. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I still drink. I don't smoke cigarettes, but like I definitely smoke weed still. I hit like an EP.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I'm not anywhere like I was. You know, like now I think back about a week. When before that was like normal. You know?
Right.
It was like, oh, 6-pack, yeah, I'm not even buzzed yet. And
That's wild.
I just changed my lifestyle around and realized you had to change everything in your show. I was like, what do you do? Like, oh, I mean,
right.
well, maybe you should look at an art store. So I originally got hired at Hair. And I was working with them because they had better quality stuff.
For sure.
But the Aaron brothers I was working for closed. So we're all owned by the same company. So they sent us clients that have paid me. And I've been at my accent. But the cool thing is we actually sell Montana Gold.
At that first store at Michael's?
Yeah, we actually sell Montana Gold there. It's fucking ridiculously expensive. Like a regular person has to pay $11.99 a can. But I still get it for $6, which is like the same price, still blick.
Right.
So.
Right.
Because of my discount, I still pay a normal price.
Right.
Which, by the way, for all your listeners, if you do go to Michael, they're not going to tell you this, but they accept every type of person's coupon.
Really?
On the internet, you can actually go in, and if the Michaels in your town actually has Montana Gold on the shelves, because some of us are carrying them, or even the Montana marker. The paint marker. I love those fuckers, by the way. But if you show them the ad, like from an internet ad, or from an actual printed ad that is cheaper, we have to not only match that price, but give you our 10% off of that.
Really?
Yeah, and Michaels won't tell you.
He's saying if you have any coupon, Michaels has to match it and take 10% off?
Yeah.
Correct. So, like, if you just want to get some Rustos, you know, like some good Rust-Oleum, or maybe even the Krylon, like for some reason, someone in your town, like Ace or whatever, is selling it for like $3 for $2.50 a can. Take that ad to them and be like, well, I can get it here for this price, and we have to give it to you for that price plus 10%. But we're not going to tell you.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I heard back in the day. Right. Back in the day, I heard, I don't know if this is a thing, and don't do this in Tucson, Arizona, everybody, but I heard that, like, again, this may have changed, but that they can't accuse you of stealing stuff? Is that a thing or a myth?
Okay.
Because
Okay, so my company's probably gonna fire me for this, but no, if you're stealing shit, I can't do anything about it. Like I could follow you through the store and I could tell you, please don't steal that, and that's all I can do.
wow.
There are no loss prevention people. There's no metal detectors. There's fake cameras. The only cameras that work are on the actual register.
Fake cameras?
The cameras that are hanging there don't do shit, dude. Those are fake. They're not even real.
This is an art store. Those are just there for art purposes.
Yeah, it's a decoration, you know.
Wow.
And if you look at them, go into a Michael's and look at the cameras they have hanging. They are covered in dust. There's no way they would see one of them anyway.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, dude. Like, seriously, I've seen people at my store, especially in my store, because we got not really a bad area compared to where I grew up here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not really a great area either, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of crackheads and shit like that. So I've seen guys take whole carts out and shit, you know, like load up a whole cart full of shit and bounce.
What?
Yeah. Next week, right? Same time? Okay. And we can't do shit. Yeah, we can't do shit. We can't even call the cops on you.
Wow. Yeah, because, I mean, I'm not going to say whether I'm going to do that or not, but but I definitely remember...
The thing is, just so you know, all Michaels keeps all the, like, expensive paints and, like, you know,
right.
Locked up.
Right.
So,
well,
yeah, you can steal as many Sharpies if you want. Go for it. Not
right. Well, what I used to do...
Time, you can take paint. You can take fucking brushes.
Yeah, what I used to do is literally I would stock up on sketchbooks. I would have like a sketchbook in the front of my pants, a sketchbook in the back of my pants, and then I would just grab paintbrushes. You know, when I was told they can't.
Funny story.
Huh?
About stealing shit. Funny story about stealing shit.
Mm-hmm.
There's this other cat, Villain from DB.
Mm-hmm.
Real big train bomber and shit. Got recently had to deal with a man, you know, that shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, we were like buddies and hardcore buddies.
Mm-hmm.
And we're the reason why they do not sell spray paint all here. Because we would go through and clear, not just like, oh, we'll take a few cans. We'd hit it like 3 times back and just like clear them out every
Damn, bro.
Point where my mom visited my apartment when I was like, 18, 19, whatever, and she's like, where the fuck did you get all this shit? And I'm like,
bro.
I won the lottery.
I won the lottery, wow.
Yeah, and we would literally just like have milk crates full of one color,
mm-hmm.
and we'd go to work, do our thing, would meet up, and then we'd just hit the train yards, dude, and we'd just paint till the sun came.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like a nightly thing for me.
Hi. Wow.
And now that's an impossibility because now no one at the mall sells.
Right, right.
But it was so easy because they didn't have anything up.
Mm-hmm.
And just recently, did the Home Depots and the places here in town start leaving stuff? Like they don't leave it locked, but there are still cameras.
Right, right.
So there are places I could still jack paint.
Uh-huh.
I walk in there like it's no big deal, and these kids are all like nervous about it,
Right.
And I'm like, oh yeah, you just take it, put it in your shit.
Just take it.
Just make it look like you're here.
This is the Rob Ross show. Fuck it. This is how you rob places.
Yeah. And it's funny because a lot of cats they knock me for oh man, they bought you all this paint. Like, yeah, but I didn't pay for it.
Right.
And I'm still using it, not just for this piece. I always tell them, colors I really don't need. But
right. Right. Just to build the stock.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I a lot of the times I do my paint like a lot of people, how much you paid for the mural.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, honestly, dude, I just do paint.
Right.
I do it for the fact, in August, I got to go up to Vegas, stay there 5 days, ass fucking hell.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the weather was killing, it was still an awesome experience, just paint. And I know I'm leaving ever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaving a piece of me somewhere else. I'm not painting, but next year I'm going to be doing makeup shoots.
Okay.
And while I'm there, I was thinking about stopping by Isle, just because I'm in town.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole ideal that it's funny that working with church, like, I don't know, I get a lot of shit for it, but at the same time, it's like, yes, and I'm going other places and painting.
Right.
You know, and it might not be letters, but fuck, I'm painting.
Right.
And all you guys are seeing is what I post on Instagram. You don't know what I do when the fucking camera's on.
Right. Right. No, for sure.
We were getting the fuck up, dude.
For sure. For sure.
Me and my homeboy Ivan, dude, we were fucking shit up and then with paint during the day, do our little mural thing. Then at night, go get something to eat, chill, maybe smoke, because it's all legal rec Vegas now.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty nice. And then it was like, fuck it, let's go fuck it up. So we'd go take a walk around the hotel.
Tight. Yeah. Bombing is fun. I haven't done it in a while. The town I live in is too small.
It is fun, but it's fucking hella dangerous.
Right, especially...
You got gang members against you, you got
right.
cops, and you got fucking wannabe heroes with the cell phone.
Right. It's detrimental to the It's detrimental to the profession. Because I feel like, it could definitely fuck up like the positive, path that is started. Like if I got caught for fucking graffiti, like it would be fun, but it would just like it would fuck up my flow,
Well, yeah. I mean, here I am, dude. I'm fucking 38 years old, and what am I gonna do? Tell some guys in fucking county while I'm waiting to see the judge? Like, what are you in here for? I wrote on a wall.
Yeah. Right.
It's like, oh, pussy.
Right.
That's the last thing you want.
Right.
Dude. It's like, you're in here for tagging? Fucking puss, It's
right.
Like, oh, really? Yeah, I mean, there's no real street cred to it. Like, we have our own little world, but once you get caught, that's a whole different world you're going into.
Right.
And kids nowadays don't even realize it. There's a lot of these fuckers never seen the inside of a jail.
Right.
And the bad thing is now, courts and shit, a lot of states are really cracking down on it.
Mm-hmm.
And like here, it's a felony. It's a class 6 felony.
Damn.
You get caught doing graffiti.
God damn.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like rape.
Damn. That's
I
wild.
didn't rape anybody, dude. I painted a wall that
right.
you can easily paint the fuck over. I mean, no one got hurt.
Right.
Seriously, no one even cried. There's no emotional damage or scarring for life. No one needs therapy for this. I just put my fucking name.
Right. Right. Unless.
Get over it.
Right. Unless you're Moxie, and then which case it is a class 6.
Anybody could be anybody.
Right.
Moxie, dude. Seriously.
Right.
I mean, the drive and motivation this guy has. For all his haters, I got a big bag of dicks for them too.
Right. Dude, that dude inspires me, bro.
A couple of minutes, and I'll get the thoughts.
That dude is super dope. I think if people really saw his adventure or saw his outlook, they would just be blown away. Like that dude's really he knows what he's doing. So shout out to that fool. He has a massive project in mind and might need help. So definitely touch base with him to do art, but
yeah, I'm down. I'm like,
right.
I'll go hit him up.
I was even saying that for this project he was talking about that I might make a trip down there and try to be a part of it because it sounds crazy.
Can you imagine that? Imagine that. All three of us just jamming on something.
Yeah. Well, again, dude, I just feel like this networking thing is just super dope. I mean, it's definitely got potential. So.
Which is fucked up because I used to work at like a Marriott, and I wish I didn't fuck up that. I got arrested, so they were calling it a no call, no show. I was in jail. You guys wouldn't take a collect call.
Right.
But. Damn, dude, if I had that hookup still, I mean, you guys would have me sitting in the suites while you're down.
Right. For sure.
And then I got I got homies that would drive for Lyft and Uber. You would have rides everywhere for free.
Oh, that's what's up. That's hella dope.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm trying to set it up where I could be more welcoming to out of town riders.
Tight.
Just so it'd be a fun experience to get better guys here in town.
Yeah.
Because, in all honesty, like the main cat that's been burning shit is Sci-Fi. And no disrespect to him. He's my friend. Rocky is a cool guy. He does street art. It's not fucking graffiti.
Okay.
You're not
Sure, I see.
And I get it. You're a fucking talented artist, but like your letters look like shit, bro.
It's so funny. Isn't that hilarious? Or like amazing artists just
you
like
paint a fucking person's face that looks like it looks like HD detail on the wall.
Right.
God,
but as soon as they write the person's name, it's like, yeah. I think artist letters and graffiti letters are two different worlds.
Yes. And that's the thing that me and Blam out here, being in LS, we're trying to transcend that like gap between street art and graffiti. And we're trying to show people the only difference is street artists don't have the balls to do what we do.
Right.
They're not really risking their freedom.
Right.
A lot of them are asking permission.
For sure.
And if I had asked permission to get my name up, none of you fuckers would know who I was.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if I ever use an app that showed me where the line was with my phone so I could paint the perfect steps on the wall,
right,
I wouldn't call myself a graffiti artist.
For sure.
You know what I mean? For
sure.
And yeah, it's so fucked up because like people ask me what type of art do you do? And this is like at work at Michael's, and I'm like, I do graffiti. Right. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh,
you're a rebel.
Or they get that nice,
Right.
So it's the two ends, but it's funnier that now it's being more acceptable. When before I'd be like, I paint graffiti. You fucking useless piece of shit. It's like, you're probably the little asshole that tagged your name on my wall.
Right. Maybe back in the day, but it's far from useless now.
Yeah. I mean, people still look at it as, there are some people in this town, this is how back-ass racist town that still think that only Mexicans and black people do.
Really?
And when they see me show up, they're like, "You do this stuff, too?" And it's like,
you're here to arrest these guys, right?
Go fuck yourself.
Damn.
And third, don't eat a bullet. We don't need people.
Right. That's wild, man.
Oh yeah, dude. This town is the fucked up thing is the thing I don't get, like, the American Mexicans that were born here, that are American, they actually hate the Mexicans from Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, well, those are your ancestors and cousins and shit. What the fuck are you hating them for?
Huh.
I'm like, dude, why would you hate your own people?
Right. That's weird. I would have thought it was the other way around, if anything.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking nuts. And like, my uncle used to own a motel, like, in the really fucked up side of town called South Tucson. It's its own little city inside of ours. Okay. And it's a whole nother story, dude. You get anything you want out.
Huh, interesting.
You get AIDS, you get chlamydia, you get fucking whatever you
Goddamn.
Like,
wow. They got it all.
Yeah, it's like Skid Row time. It's that.
Wild.
Like, yeah, but like, I came from that area, and I'll tell there, a lot of the guys that came to the hotel were like the druggies that were bring shit across the border.
Okay.
And so it's all these mulers that were like, they did a 5-day walk for me.
Right.
So when they get there, they're stealing. And I was cool enough to be like, because they're, first of all, they're illegal. So they don't want to be walking around the streets afraid they're going to caught.
Right.
So I'd be the cool guy that'd be like, yo, you guys hungry? Yeah, I'll go into churches and pick you guys up some food and name his snack. And so they'd give me some money. I'd go get them a bunch of fucking food, bring it back to their room, and they'd be like, yeah, thanks, homie. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. And they're like, you get us beer, dude? So go get a couple 30 bring back, and they'd give me like a quarter pound.
Oh, wow.
And it was like nice. And in a weird way, it became friends with a lot of cartel dude by dude. Yeah.
Huh.
And you know, it's just like, yeah, you take care of our people, we'll take care of you. And I'm like, yeah, sincere. I don't work for them. You know what I mean? I do it for them, not for you.
Right.
And so
right.
I had to draw that line, so I knew I wouldn't get caught up in cartel.
Yeah, that'd be
this
fucking nuts,
really
dude.
Fucking easy to do. You'll end up fucking desert, mutilated.
Yeah, that's wild, bro.
Yeah, it's still the Wild West out here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we might have like cell phones, fucking cars, but it's still the Wild West.
Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Well, cool, man. Sounds like an adventure, man. I'd definitely like to check that shit out.
Yeah, Tucson, like, when people come here to visit, I'm like, oh, okay, so here's the deal. There really isn't much to do here.
For sure.
Legally.
For sure, damn.
But if you're into breaking the law, I can show you all kinds of fun shit to do.
Mm-hmm. Tight, dude. Good shit, good shit.
I'll take you over to my crazy ass buddy's house. We'll go shoot.
Tight.
Out in desert shit. I'll get a walk, you know?
Right. You know what's crazy? I actually know a couple.
Out here, dude.
I know a couple people out there. I mean, you and Moxie. I feel like there's another graph writer that I know out there. But then my homie Wisdom is out there also. So I feel like I will have to make a fucking trip out there just to like kick it with everybody one of these days.
You know, they call it the zone for a reason.
What's up?
In California, they call us the zone.
The zone, right? Okay.
We're zoners. Yeah, we're the zoners. Because they say we're crazier than them.
No doubt.
And in a lot of aspects, we are. Because these kids, like, especially like in the early 90s, like when like Colors came out and everybody was being a gangster and shit.
Right.
Fuck, dude, it was scary to live here. It was actually kind of really scary.
Mm-hmm.
And people were fucking getting out for no reason. You
know, yeah, that's wild.
You wear the wrong color shoes today, and you're dead.
God damn.
And I actually lost a lot of people I knew because of that.
Really?
But,
holy shit, dude.
Yeah, but the funniest shit is they all killed them. So like all that fucking crowd either went to prison or they all killed each other. So now it's a totally different crowd here, you know.
Wow.
And it's the people that are not so quick to pull triggers on.
Right.
There's still those idiots, but it's more of a knuckle up, you know. Let's square the fuck up.
Right.
I don't like that about these.
Right. So you've been out there your whole life then?
Yeah, born and raised. I've traveled, dude. Like I've gone all around the world, all around the United States.
Cool.
But I always kind of here. This is my home, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
I gotta hold it down, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Someone's gotta make this. Someone's gotta represent correct.
For sure, dude. For sure. Well, it seems like you're on the right path. You know, you got a good vision and all that. What are for sure? What are some projects that you're working on, or some things you have scheduled?
Shit, man. Throw a stone and you'll hit one.
Tight. I know, dude. You're you're
really,
like I said, within the past year, you've definitely been, you know, I mean, you've been consistent, but you're definitely doing like a lot more legal stuff. So.
Yeah, and plus, I kind of switched stuff up as like, especially with the church, and like, oh yeah, it's great, you guys buy me spray paint and canvases, but I was like, why should I have all that?
Sure.
And I thought back to like when I was a kid, and I was like, you know, I got into all these programs for art, like to do murals, to do stuff. And as soon as it got time to actually do it, they cut the funding.
Damn.
And it was like, it was that build up and then nothing. You know, so of course I took the fucking degree, you know?
Right.
I had this fucking ideal of shit I wanted to do. I wanted to do big paintings, you know? I wanted to do shit people would walk and drive by and see every day. So graffiti was the natural answer.
Sure.
You know, fuck you guys, I'm going to do it myself, you know?
Right.
And so instead of getting kids in trouble and being like, hey, this is how you grab a can and write your name, you know, I started having this pizza paint night. And it's
no doubt.
It's free. Yeah, it's free. Anybody can come. They sit down. We provide paints. We provide canvases.
Wow.
And it's 3 hours. Yeah, it's 3 hours. We even feed pizza and just sit down. And like, you know how they have those stupid paint nights girls go to where they all paint the same fucking picture?
Right.
This ain't that. You know, it's paint what you want. Be who you want to be. put that on the can.
Right,
You know?
right.
And we've been doing that since February, and it went good, and then it kind of took a little. People just weren't coming, and it was because it was the same night March Madness happening, you know.
Oh, I see.
So like everybody was like watching the games instead, and then it started picking back up again. And now it's sometimes we have 10 people there, sometimes we have 40.
Oh, no doubt.
And every time we do it, it's new people. And I'm like, this
Really?
is what I want. I wanted to have a place for anybody to come and be artistic and
right.
see if this is for you.
Right.
And not have to worry about, I gotta go to the store, I gotta buy all this paint and all these brushes,
right.
I gotta get these different. And no, dude, we have it all for you.
Right.
Come sit down and paint. Have
hey.
fun.
Hell yeah,
and
dude.
It's paid for by a church.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth. But like, you can ask anybody who goes there. We're not sitting there like you have to join our church.
Right.
That's not us. It's not. We're not like a. We're not the structured church people think of.
For sure.
So this isn't even anything to do with church. This is our community service.
That's dope,
dude. They were like, what does the community need? And I said, they need more art programs.
Right.
And so we made this, and it's been taken on. I hope it just grows into bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. And it's cool because a lot of writers, because I'm attached to it, show up. And I think that is fucking it. That these people, like normal people, come and they're like, oh, and then they see us and they're like, oh, there's math guys here. We're spray painting the back of the place. And we bring we don't even fuck around, dude. We got Molotov people paint felt. For sure. Yeah, and we give you guys the best product to use, and why not come out and have fun and learn?
That's hella dope, dude.
And yeah, some girl came out. She painted this, like, her first time holding a can. She painted, like, a beach scene with a sunset. And I was like, fuck, that looks dope. Uh-huh. Like, this is your first time holding a can? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, you should try it more often, you know?
Right.
It's like, I can show you some tricks if you want.
Right.
And the fact that it's all free is really cool, that I'm just volunteering.
Right.
Because that's how much art means.
Yeah, that's hella...
I want to see other people take.
That's hella dope, man. I definitely know, some artists who are doing, setting courses in classes and stuff. So, yeah, man, sounds like you're on it.
Charm up in Seattle, he's fucking starting to teach art, and I'm like, fuck yeah, bro, you do that,
Right.
Teaching people how to do what we do used to be frowned upon.
Right.
But at the same time, yeah, it used to be really fun. Like, no, don't be showing people how to do that shit. But at the same time, it's like, no, show them how to do that. I'm tired of looking at whack shit,
Right, for sure.
Teach them the rules. Show them what to do, Hide these motherfuckers. Because they're all just going to walk out and paint over your...
Right.
So when a way has its places for the light of a tunnel, like to teach you and guide them, and at the same time, when spray paint, I tell them, I'm like, if you ever do this shit on a wall, you're gonna go to jail.
Right.
All of us, all of my friends, we've all been to jail for, and now the sentences are stricter. You don't want to fuck up your life.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you roll with guys like us, we'll make opportunities for you.
Right.
And that's what I'm looking. I'm looking for walls so other people, not just me, just my crew, other artists.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to be the guy that unifies. Fuck the beef, fuck the politics.
Right.
Let's just all get together and do what we do best.
For sure.
Make amends.
For sure. No, I agree, man. Like, yeah, we've kind of earned the stripes, and now dude, just like being the positive role models, more or less. Like, yeah. Maybe if you're like a minor, go ahead and do what you got to do. But if you're getting close to that age where you're gonna fuck your life over, then
don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Please don't fuck your life up over this shit.
Right.
If you got the balls and you're like us and you're willing to put your fucking freedom at stake, that's hardcore.
Right.
That's what we are. But at the same time, you know, here I am telling kids, you don't want to do this, man. Seriously, you want to do it this way.
Right.
On canvas, you know, do this, get bored, practice in your yard. People are going to talk shit about you, but once you start getting up.
Right. Oh, fuck that. Once you start making money.
It's not even about that, you know? Like making money is great. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's tight. Like, I sold a piece in Vegas at a silent auction, and it was like a 16 by 20. Went for like 30.
Oh, wow.
I could give a shit less. Yeah, I could give a shit less how much I sold. I'm just glad it's hanging in somebody's house.
For sure. For sure.
And not in my pile of canvas at home,
hey,
you know?
Ain't that the truth?
I'm glad somebody wanted it. Yeah. And
right.
so I'm just thankful for that. Fuck what you paid. You could have gave me $40. You know?
Right.
I would have been happy as fuck. And that's the other thing. People were like, dude, you said price is so low. And I'm like, because in this day and age, no one's got money, bro.
Right.
And
no, that's.
I don't want some nose in the air hipster jackass owning shit. I want real people owning
right.
shit. Real people ain't got no money in the pocket.
Right.
So it's $20.
Right.
You know?
No,
I try to be as real as I can.
That's definitely something that I do. You know, I have very affordable pieces, and I also have like my price list pieces, and then I have extremely expensive pieces because I know people have money that they want to spend like that. You know, so but I think working with people's budget is like at least at the stage that I'm at, you know, is needed. You know.
Yeah. I try to work around shit, and like I said, when people ask me, like, dude, how much do you get paid to do that mural? Because I heard Rocky got like $8,000, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't really charge him.
Right. Right.
What? Yeah, I did it for free. What? I'm like, yeah, I'm not in it. I need the paint.
Right.
I'm out here with a can in my hand. That's me happy.
Right, for sure.
You know, I don't care if I'm painting smiley face for somebody. As long as I'm painting, I'm feeling good.
For sure.
That's my therapy. That's my, you know.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Good shit.
But like, the funny thing is, like, people are always like, "Oh, dude, sell this for like, you may think about that out for $50, you know, and now you really got to sell."
Right. Up the price. Buy this and then up the price yourself.
Right?
Right.
Well, like, I felt really bad, dude. Like, I did this thing we have here, a festival called Tucson Meat Shelf, and all different cultures that live here in town go out, and we cook food for you, and we show you our culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have to pay up with this group called House of Ross, and they're like this non-profit group that raise money for fucking,
Okay.
Okay, basically, when charities try to help you out, people like it. Some people don't fit their criteria, so they don't want that are falling through the cracks. And this organization finds those people and help them. And I thought that was cool, so yeah, I'll sign up, I'll help you guys out, I'll donate. And if it's helping your cause, why not? And they're like, well, we want you to be there and show your art and sell it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt really bad, because they had some really nice oil paintings, really, really fucking shit.
Right.
And the only thing that was selling was my Rick and Morty's for $20 a pop. I felt bad selling them, because it was on postboard.
Right.
Mr. Board for $20. Are you kidding me? Like, horrible doing it, but at the same time, hey, we're raising that stuff. And so it was funny that all mine is like $400 or this stuff. And I was like, guys, if you're gonna take it to that price, print, just sell the piece. I had to actually give you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of weird to me. Who the fuck should take advice from me? I'm like one of the most unstable people I know. And as you can tell, as today trying to get on this show, I have zero time to myself.
Right.
I'm so busy, and like when I do get a and said, fuck this meeting, but, we push through, we do it, we make it happen.
Right.
I think that eventually I'm going to get do it. Right now, I'm home. That's me. Oh shit, is Blam pulling up? My neighbor is in my crew too. Like, I moved next door to one of my best friends and neighbors, Blam 1.
Uh-huh.
He's also LS. Yeah, it sure sounds like he just pulled up.
Okay. He's trying to bomb on the interview.
Right. Old guy, he's really good with stencils and like his art is just there, dude. Like, he's been working on these for now.
Nice.
And then it's got like he put like styrofoam eyeballs, just like, kind of more 3D, but like down paste type painting. It's amazing. Like every time he touches it. So me and that guy's been working together for time. He's like, it's like we're yin and yang. He's the good guy, I'm the bad guy.
First,
but together we make the awesome duel, Like we share the same wavelength of thoughts and ideals, but like he's definitely more the we should more fight about. More the man, fuck this shit show,
For sure.
Which is weird because I consider myself a really nice guy, so that is
right.
I think I'm nice. If he's telling me fuck the vile one.
Damn.
I do have a past. I was a violent. I was pretty.
For sure.
I wasn't always this guy's fuck.
For sure. Everybody changes, bro. Right. Cool. Well, 1 second. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, it was just about the Rick and Morty thing. It's funny because when I interviewed Jason, Mayonnaise and Bread, he was talking about how he hates doing fan art because I don't know. I guess it's just too watered down or something like that. But it's just funny, 'cause it
sucks the life out of you.
Yeah.
It really does. Because it's like, do I want to paint the fucking ship from fucking Serenity, like Firefly,
Right.
Do I gotta put a Millennium Falcon on this as people are gonna buy it? But the fact is,
man, that's the main reason I started doing characters is because
anyway, my dog. But
right.
The sad fact is, nerd culture has the money.
Right.
If you want to sell shit, you have to kind of inform yourself.
That's a good realization.
And if you want it to sell fast and make money, you kind of have to do what the people want, and that's never what you want.
Right.
Like my original stuff that I painted from my fucking art still sits on my walls today.
Mm-hmm.
No, people don't. That's not really what I want in my house. I like what your message is. That's dope. I wish I could buy it. It's like, no, you could. You just don't want it.
Right. Right.
So, like what you're doing is not going to be what people like.
Right.
If you're going to what people like I do, I do feel like a sellout, dude. I'm not fucking. Do everybody listen to your show, dude? Yeah. I feel like I'm fucking selling out my culture.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm an artist.
Right. And I mean, it's good to know how to do characters and stuff. But that's the main reason I had to start doing them, because it's like my pieces won't sell unless I put something someone can point at and be like, that is Rosie from the Jetsons,
Yeah. I love the Jetsons. Oh my God, I wake up every morning, eat some cereal and watch that shit.
And they don't...
I'm definitely buying it. I don't even know what that says, but it's got Rosie.
They don't care about... Yeah, exactly. They don't care about, the piece, so... That's why I like, collaborating more, because people can, offer something that I can't do, and I can offer a little twist on what they do, so.
And that's why I feel really lucky that I met this guy in town, Ivan Warner. He actually didn't have a graffiti background. He started out doing art, and he got a major in fine art.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started picking up a stray cat.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because we'd go down, like I say, we got these drainage tunnels, and we'd go down the ones by downtown, and I'm walking, and there's this fucking gigantic 10-foot Marilyn Manson head.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, yeah, it's like from the Smells Like Children album. I'm like, what the fuck? Who did this? You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. And I'd see his name, Ivan, on it, and I'm like, I gotta meet this at one day soon. And sure enough, like a year later, one of our homies, Dyer, he's like, oh yeah, I know that fool. We've been boys for days. I'm like, I gotta meet him. And so Dyer is like this like 6'4" gigantic dude. Like, you know, he's you wouldn't want to meet him on a bad day.
Okay.
Like, his fist is bigger than my face.
Sure. Sure.
And then from behind him crawls out this little like 4.5-foot nothing guy. And I'm like, you're Ivan? He's like, yeah. Well, that piece was like 3 times your size. How did you do that? He's like, I have a step ladder. And I'm like, okay, we gotta hang out.
He's like, I just part of my equipment, just a ladder.
We start chilling, we start painting, and the next thing I know, like in the Vegas, they were like, you might need help on the wall. Yeah, I would. I'm like, none of the guys that I have are really, at my disposal, are really good enough to do what we're trying to do.
Right.
But Ivan has that like art training, so I'm like, and at the same time, like he speaks my language. You know, because I did a little bit of art. Nothing. Like I dropped out. Fuck that place. I learned Washington, and I did in art. And just for the record, fuck art institute. They're don't go. I'm glad they're going out to but when me and Ivan got there, like I could tell him, like, oh yeah, I want to do a gradient from this way up, from dark to light, and I want to bring the background colors. Just and like he understands we speak.
Right. Right.
So it was really easy painting.
Right.
And so me and him make a really good team because like I know his language, mine.
Right.
We both fucking click.
For sure.
There's no doubt about it. He's just getting into doing letters now, and his letters out. They look boyish, but I look at him, it's like, look at the technique you put into that. Yeah, the letters aren't structured right, but fuck, he painted amazing, you know?
Right, for sure, for sure.
And it's just the fact that he has that skill is why I was like, fuck that, this kid's in my crew, you know?
Tight.
Don't know anything else. Anybody want to fucking say something about it, you come talk to me.
For sure, for sure.
He's LS now, so fuck y'all. And it really broke a couple people's heart because they've been wanting to get through for so long. And we're really picky about who jumps. Because at one point we let a bunch of them weren't really quality writers.
For sure.
They had a different, and it was we should have been more selective. So eventually I weeded out all the fuckers and rid of them. Just kept the guys that mean them, like, you know, the heavy hitters. And so I felt bad for doing it, but at the same time, I gotta rep the crew and I gotta worry about how we look there. You know?
Right.
You know, it can't be like, oh, LS is just a bunch of fucking boys, you know?
Right.
With a couple of good guys. No, now it's just a couple of good guys.
For sure, for sure.
We got rid of everybody. But, you know, cleaning house has to be done. You can't have to. Especially if you're going to be in a crew and you're curious about the shit, you got to have the right guy. And Ivan, Glam, Hero, all these, like Spice, all these guys are the right guys to have back. We all have our strong. We got good bombers, we got good piecers, we got guys with characters. We even got guys that all they do is throw hands, you know?
For sure.
And that's what we need them.
Right,
so
right,
we all have a spot. It's like I say, it's a well-rounded.
Nice.
You know, and now if somebody wants to get in, you got to know how to do stunts. You got to know how to do rolls. You got to know how to do bomb. You know,
right.
Just throw up with a hand stock.
Right.
You got to prove yourself that. Can you do this? Do you know how to do that? Do you know what a two-can fade is? You know?
Right.
Can you make your own tip if you don't have one?
For sure.
You know, we really put you on the spot. It's kind of, people say it's fucked up, but I think, nah, dude, if you want to be a part of it, you got to prove you can be a part of it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean it's pretty interesting. Each crew has their own kind of initiation, man. It's pretty dope. I like that aspect of graffiti
Ours
crews
involves
now.
a goat.
It's different, huh?
Yeah. Our initiation involves a goat, and I've used a condom. I'm just kidding.
All right. A goat. Okay. Okay.
It's funny because I tell people that, and they're like, "What?" they believe everything.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the people that you can
take it at face value.
Right. That's the people you really don't want in the crew, but if they're willing to go that far, then I guess we could use you somewhere in life. Like,
yeah, it's like, hey man, if you can't paint, can you still?
right. Right. Wild.
You got good dope. What can I use?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Cool, man. All right. So let's just see. Other than art, what are some other things you're into? We'll just do like 2 more questions.
Okay. Other than art, I do music. I haven't did it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like I play drums, play bass, do turntable. It's been a while since I've been in music, and it's been clawing at me lately. So I've been wanting to get back into that.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking like possibly next year I'll probably have another drum set, and I'll start looking for some guys to jam with type deal.
Right.
Maybe do some like street super social club style stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Other than art, man, I cook.
Okay. Cool.
I'm a bomb ass cook. Like, if you come to one of my barbecues, you're gonna leave a happy man.
Nice. Cool. Cool.
There really isn't much other than, like, you know, taking care of my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being the guy I'm supposed to be.
For sure. Cool, man. Good shit. Good shit. Excellent. All right. So one more question before we go into how people can reach you. Is there anything else you'd like to raise awareness on, or just talk about in any way? I mean, you've pretty much mentioned like classes and stuff and community service and stuff like that. But yeah, if there's anything else that you just kind of want to raise awareness on.
Yeah, man, put me on the spot, why don't you?
Yeah. Well, this question.
It's times like this I wish I was Shia LaBeouf, because then I'd be like, no, you need to think about this and stay woke. But
Right.
It's funny because the people who are woke, you know, quotation marks over that shit, are like some of the most unwoke people I've met.
For sure. For sure.
You know, it's to me, it's awareness on something. It's this, man. Be aware of you.
Sure.
Be aware of your surroundings.
Tight.
You know, be aware of how people's reactions are to you.
Mm-hmm.
And realize that it's not about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's about all of us as one big fucked up ass fucking melting pot of people in this country that's going down in flames, man.
Tight.
You know, it's just be aware.
For sure.
Keep your eyes open, man. Keep your ears open. Keep your mind open. It's the most important thing. Because once you get trapped into a way of thinking, you're in a box now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
definitely
people don't realize how easy it is to fall in that box and how hard it is to get out of it.
Facts.
You know,
for sure.
Stay open to everything. I'm not saying, hey, you know what? I'm gonna try this drug or I'm gonna do this. No, be smart about what you're doing. You know, think about your longevity in the process, but at the same time, be open to new experience. You know,
definitely.
Try things out, things you never tried. Like, I'm working on skulls. I never thought I'd fucking skull.
You said skulls?
I'm gonna give it a shot, you know, and if it looks good, I'm gonna keep fucking doing it.
Okay.
You know, and if it doesn't look good, I'm gonna keep fucking doing it till it does.
Right.
That's just the type of guy I am.
Dope.
You know? I mean, never be afraid either. There's no reason to be afraid in life.
Mm-hmm.
Even if someone's got a barrel to your fucking head, dude, don't be afraid.
Tight.
You know what I mean? It's a scary situation. I'm not gonna lie. It's happened to me on more than occasions I want to fucking admit, but I'm still here.
Right.
You know, it's gonna take a long time before something like that takes me out. you know.
Right.
And a lot of times, if you just believe in yourself, which sounds fucking insane, especially in the day and age we are, where no one believes in themselves. Everybody wants to be something else.
Facts.
You have to be who
Facts.
you know. Because I don't want to meet some guy who paints like you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want to meet the guy who is the guy who paints what you paint.
Right.
I want to see Jaws' shit. I want to talk to fucking Anthony. You know what I mean?
Tight.
That's who I'm trying to be with. I don't want to be like, oh, I do this because I saw some other guy.
Right.
No.
Right. Right.
Do what you do.
It's
Be
crazy.
yourself and be nice to people.
Right.
Definitely. It doesn't hurt to be nice, and you know what? Me being nice opened a lot more fucking doors than me being a hard ass.
For sure. For sure.
I mean, all the opportunities I have and all the opportunities that are coming up in my life are because I gave it a shot.
Right.
I tried. I did something I wasn't comfortable doing.
For sure. For sure.
I mean, and I'm not. The other thing is, don't try to be famous about it.
Right.
Don't get into it to be something.
For sure.
Get into it because it's love.
Right. Well, like my homie Lucian said, he's like, do it because you have to. You know, I mean, it's like if you're an artist. What else
are you gonna do? Seriously, you're gonna wake up every day, watch the same fucking shows on
right.
TV, smoke the same shitty ass weed,
right?
Fucking go to sleep, do the same thing again.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, dude, some guys, like some of my friends are really into shoes, and they buy all kinds, like they got more shoes than chicks have, and I'm just like, that's his thing. He's a sneakerhead. You know, let him do his thing.
Right.
You know, when you see him, compliment his kicks. Obviously, it'll make him have a better day.
For sure.
Instead of being like, bastard, you paid how much for those? You know?
Right.
You know how much pain I could have got for them kicks?
Right. Facts.
You know, and that's the other thing too. Support your friend.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing I hate that other people do. Like, I got homies that fucking try to put them down, trying to do stuff for them. Instead of standing there and making fun of them, like, whenever you feel bad about your life, remember somebody in your hometown is trying to be a rapper.
Right.
No, dude, you know what? He's trying to be a rapper, and the reason he's not is you ain't supporting that.
Right. No, definitely. I definitely
wonder why nobody supports your acts.
I definitely stand behind that, man. Definitely support, you know, people you believe in, really. I mean, shit.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you'll buy some asshole D who doesn't give a fuck about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you'll download his whole fucking repertoire of shit, and you'll pay for that. You know?
Right.
But your buddy's having a free show down at the fucking, you know, the bar down the street. You're not even going to go up to that.
Right. Right.
It's like, dude, who the fuck, who does that? But yeah, you want everybody to show up for what you do.
Facts.
And you want everybody to look at what you do. No. The door swings both ways.
Right.
Fuck that shit is. And I mean, I don't know if this works for everybody, but it went my way. The more I started helping my friends out, the more help I got back.
No doubt.
You know?
No doubt.
The more attention I gave to other people that I don't even know that are in the game, the more people start noticing me that I didn't even know were looking.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Junior, shut the fuck up. That dog is really
He's trying to interview Bomb too.
Yeah, he'll bark like once, and I'm like, nope.
Okay.
But
cool, man.
Yes.
All right.
I just don't want him ruining it.
It's all good. Sweet, man. I think that was really dope. It's good chatting, man. It's fucking super good connecting.
Yeah.
You know, it's the first time we've got to sit down and talk, so that's hella dope.
That's the thing. It's the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't gonna be the last.
Right. For sure.
We're gonna be face to face on the same. We're gonna be face to the same wall.
Yeah. Like I said, dude, I'd like to come down there and you know, put in some work with you and Moxie. I think that would be just, again, something else to make the internet explode.
You know what? You said it's out there on social media.
Right.
This is on YouTube too, right?
It will be, yes.
It has to happen now, dude.
Yep.
It's gonna fucking happen.
Yep.
And I'm gonna make sure it does.
Tight.
I mean,
tight, dude.
We're gonna do this.
I'm stoked. I'm hella stoked. All right, last
and
thing.
If I even have to get the church to fund it, then we're gonna get it done for that. We're gonna do our thing.
You can say my friend from Ethiopia or something. Anything to get me out there.
Right, dude. I'm gonna get you out here, dude. Don't worry about
Cool.
that.
I'm hyped, bro. Last thing, just how people can reach you.
Okay, since the Facebook police changed my name back to my real name.
I hate that it did that. It did me the same way, bro.
I'm actually on the fence if I'm going to keep my Facebook or not.
I was there too.
But as of right now,
Yep.
you can get a hold of me as Michael Scholl.
Yeah.
On Facebook. The bad thing is there's a million Michael Schultzes on it.
Right.
But I'm not the guy who directed Crush Brew. I wish I was.
For sure.
But we sure, and The Last Dragon and shit. We're the same. We're not the same guy.
Right. The one that says graffiti on it, unfortunately.
There's that. There's I'm Citizen Clown on Instagram. That's Clown A, because different.
Right.
A little bit dyslexic, but and if you can't do that, just hit me up to this Clown 57. That'd be the best way. I always respond. I might be a day or two late because I got a lot of shit on plate, but I always.
Cool. Excellent. Sounds like a deal. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to throw in on that Facebook thing, man. I was definitely so pissed. I had someone.
I'm like, motherfucker, like when they were like, we need to see a picture of your ID. I'm like, I'll send you a picture of my business card that says fucking Citizen Clown.
Right.
And they're like, that doesn't mean nothing to us. I'm like, well, your fucking website doesn't mean shit.
Right. Yeah, I got a text.
It was like, other than keeping some important, I'd get rid of this shit.
I got a text from.
They got me by the short and curly.
Right. No, I got a text from someone saying, like, asking if I blocked them, and I was like, what? I didn't block you. And then
I had people like, what happened to you? And I'm like, I'm still on there. And they're like, oh man, like some dude took your picture, and I'm like, no, that dude is me.
Yeah, that shit's so irritating, bro.
Yeah, and then now I get the wait, your name's Michael. You work Never gets old.
Michael from Michael's. That's so fucking great, dude.
Right? What I love the best is, do you own this store?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I work in the frame counter, bitch.
Yes.
I own the place. I just do this out of fucking the love of my heart.
Yeah. I built the store just so I could be back here.
Yeah. But then again, at least it's not, oh, you're not, I want to be like Mike or some bullshit.
You're writing all these puns for yourself, bro. Sounds like...
Oh, yeah, dude, it goes for days. And that's why, I walk through a mall with Mike, like 40 people return. I walk through the mall, someone says clown, I know what you're talking about.
Right. Right.
That's the other bad thing, too. A lot of people get public. Help you. Yo, clown! I'm like, fuck up.
Right.
Who is that?
Right.
Keep it on the DL.
Right. Dude, I haven't done illegal graffiti in so long that, like, and most people in my life call me Jaws. Even at my job and shit. But the other day, someone hit me up on Facebook, and he's like, so what's your rap name? And I was like, seriously? Like, you don't know who the fuck I am? Like, I don't know. It was very strange reality. But anyway.
Yeah, the fact that people realize I have a real name, they're like,
right.
I just thought you were Clown.
Right.
Right. It's been 20 years, but like.
Yeah. It's a crazy game we're in, man. All right, well, it's good talking, man. I definitely appreciate you taking the time to answer some questions.
I appreciate you talking to be a part.
For sure.
I'm pretty sure I bored everybody to death.
Nah, you're good. You had a lot of good insight, man. It's always good seeing the artists for who they are, so big props, man. Big props. And we'll keep in touch, man. It's definitely...
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, it's a full moon tonight.
Oh.
That means you got plenty of lighting to see what you're doing out there. So get out there and, do your best by making it.
Tight. I think we're going to see a Clown Moxie roller tonight, huh?
Oh, definitely Moxie's getting up tonight.
Yeah, that boy's doing his thing, bro.
That motherfucker's a beast. artist.
Yeah. Good shit. Good shit. Well, cool, man. Take it easy. Have a good night, and thanks again.
All right, you too,
All
man.
right.
I appreciate you wanting me to be a part of this.
Oh
You have a
yeah,
good night,
absolutely, absolutely.
bro. All right.
Wastebasket All Stars, bro,
Nice.
for everybody.
Right, dude, we burn all.
We
fool.
burn all,
We are
son.
born artists.
Hell yeah. Good shit. All right, peace out, brother.